Right, well, what have we got today? Just a quick one today. Bush, it's another screwdriver. Because if you remember, I covered it was the Wera KK20, I think this was, which was pretty cool. It had all of the bits in here, which is really good. I had a good retention method, and it's extendable as well. So I really like this. I'm a big fan of the Veras due to the handle design. It's almost as if you could imagine getting some Play-Doh and lightly squeezing it, and you get this sort of palm swell. I've always liked this design. Now that design doesn't necessarily carry over for something really small and compact, which is what I'm looking at today. So in regards to small and compact, it's the KK stubby. Ignore that bit just for a second. So the KK stubby. So that is it there. Now there's magazine 1, magazine 2, magazine 3. All they're actually referring to is the loadout. So if you imagine putting different bullets in a magazine of a gun, you're getting different bits. But I'll go over that, don't worry. And you can see on the front of well, this is a retail package. It depends how you buy, but if you get in the retail package, you can see exactly what it is. So this happens to be Phillips head. I think there's 2 Phillips head sizes in here. Posi drive. I don't really see Posi drive as often in American stuff, but they're very popular here in Europe. I prefer them massively. You just don't get cam out. That doesn't mean they're better. They have a different purpose, you know. Sometimes you want to cam out because you don't want things breaking, or you can set a torque on a tool and things like that. So it's not replacement, it's just another way of putting stuff in. And you've got your slotted or flathead, as I call them. You can get different loadouts. You can get one with hexagons, like hex bits, and you can also get a one with torques. Now they're the normal torques, they're not the security torques, which I prefer, because sometimes you're dealing with devices which do have a security torques where it's got that little dimple in the middle, so you can't get a normal torques head on, which is a bit irritating. So like I say, it's the Vera. I mean, it's German, so this is just how they pronounce it. So even though it looks like Wera, it's Vera. Very impressed with this. I've put this back in the box as best I can because I've been carrying it for a few days and testing it out. Before this, I was testing the Wiha, which really liked it. There was a few things I didn't like. One of them was the fact that these aren't standard 1/4 inch. They look like it, but they're not. So if you try and put in a normal, because of the length of that, it's that much longer than a normal 1/4 inch. If you try and put a normal 1/4 inch, it goes all the way down. You've got to get tweezers to get the damn thing out, which is a bit annoying, but I do like this handle design. It's extremely comfortable for a stubby. I really like that, and very soft. But we'll get on with this one. I might do some comparison videos at some point. So this is the ultra compact. So it's a stubby, even though this bit extends and you can take the bits out. It's using the Take It Easy tool finder, or Take It Easy tool finder is it's Vera's version of a quick way of finding tools. They color code things. So if you're rapidly using different heads, or you're on a system, you think, well, I always use the red and then yellow, red and yellow, you can quickly go to it instead of scrutinizing things and going, right, let's have a little read of this. Is that the right size? Get the magnifying glass out. You know, there's none of that. It's supposed to save time, you know. Whether it does or not, doesn't matter. So we'll have a quick look at the box here. So like I say, this is the magazine 2. So in this one you get 2 Phillips there. So you get a Phillips 1 and a Phillips 2. You get 2 Posi drives, so Posi 1, Posi 2, and then you get a slotted or flathead, we sometimes refer to in this country. So there's your sizing for those. So a smaller one and a slightly larger one. But I'll show you them, don't worry. So let's get into the item itself. So very compact. There's not a lot in the box. You get a sticker to say I am a rebel. So you can stick that on your motorcycle helmet, you know, or something like that. There's a bit of cardboard and nothing else. So here's the item here. Now, first off, straight off you can see, look, that's a Vera. However, because of the length, it doesn't have that lovely palm swell, which I like. You know, I really like that. You can really torque down on it. So it's slightly different. It still carries over this hexagonal sort of setup here, so you can get a spanner or something round, a wrench round, and give yourself a bit more torque. So that's still there, and I wonder if that stops it rolling. It does quite a bit, because if you remember on the Wiha, it was just a little bit of a cutout here and here, so it can roll. I mean, this is a little bit soft here, but if you put it on something a bit harder, I think I showed that in the video, that could roll off a table. This is slightly better, look. Slightly, you know, it's still round. I would say that the handle's better on the Wiha, because this isn't quite as comfortable. It's so short. I mean, let's just size them up. Look, very short. Obviously there's a bit in there, but if we put the bases next to each other there, look, very, very small, very, very compact. So it's extremely minimalist. And that's it there. But the design's the same as like the KKs, the Kraftform. You've got the hard plastic and then the soft. And then if you notice, it's got this here telling you that you can take the bits out. So interestingly, it has like a carousel effect. So out they come, and then you get a little click. But look, see how it'll actually, now that, don't worry, that's not broken, but it will actually bend. Now it doesn't do that with something like the Wiha. Look, the Wiha comes out like that. That's all you get. And on the larger, the Kraftform KK20, if we do that one, boom. See, it's carousel effect, but it doesn't twist in any manner. So it can be a little irritating to get at, but you can get at them. You know, I do use this and I like it. But on this one, just to make it easier to get, you can tilt it. You see that? And it doesn't break. Now, one thing I'm going to say straight away. So normally this is what you do. So you think, right, well, I want a Phillips number 2. Is that a Phillips? Yeah, so there's a Phillips number 2. So you take it out like that. Look, okay. So you take it out, push that back down, and then you put it into the top, and there's a magnet down the bottom there which helps keep it in. So you put it in, magnetized. It's a standard 1/4 inch there. And now, is that etched or is that ink? Let's have a look. Let's get this focused in here. So Vera, and then there's the bit there. So 851/1 BTZ. Now the problem is that ink? I think that's ink. I prefer stamped stuff because they last longer. Although I will say that the Vera bits are pretty good. The Vera, the PB Swiss bits, Milwaukee, stuff like that. If you buy a brand name, they tend to last. They're pretty good. Okay, so we'll pop that in. So quite shallow. So we take a 1/4 inch straight in. Very strong magnet there. Watch. That even pulled it. Watch. Watch. In fact, line it up. There. See, that pulled that in itself. Very, very strong. Much stronger than this one. But pretty decent. You know, in fact, to get that out, you've got to really give that a pull. So nice to see a nice strong magnet there. In fact, you can see how strong that is. Look, it's picking that up. Boom. So nice. I would say it's not quite as comfortable as the Wiha, but that's just because it's slightly larger and a better sort of, it's got this palm swellish bit. I do prefer that, but this will take standard 1/4 inches. Now I'll show you on the Wiha here. If I try and put a normal one in, watch out. I'm going to keep a hold of this because I know what happens here. See, I can't let go of that because that's going to go all the way down. That's the only problem with that. It'll take 1/4 inches, but they go all the way down. Whereas this one will take a standard 1/4 inch, no problem. It's not some proprietary, although I say proprietary, but I think double-ended bits like this, you can get a lot of double-ended bits. They're still 1/4 inch in diameter, but you've got to get the specific one. So put that in, no problems. The heads themselves are pretty decent. I'll just show you that. Nicely machined there. No scuff marks or rough, stupid bits. Pretty decent. And it's got the easy tool finder, whatever the hell they call it. You know, it's there if you want it. So straight away you can say, well, that's Phillips and it's a number 2. Okay, got that. So if you're rapidly going between different profiles, you can get to them straight away. The only problem I've found so far with this one is, so you take this out, there's your carousel. Now watch. In fact, I'll show you. So here's the KK20. So let's say I take this bit out and I use it and then I want to put it back. Watch. There. That wasn't difficult, was it? So done. However, on this, slightly more difficult. Watch. Firstly, you need to sort of tilt it a little bit and then watch. Look, I can't just push that back in. You're probably thinking, well, yes, you can. Just rotate it slightly. Stop being stupid. Okay, let's rotate it a little bit. Still. Okay. Still won't go in. So what you have to do is you've got to tilt. So you've got to put it in from the bottom and then up like that. I'll show you that again. I'll try and get a close up here. So there's your retention. So you can't just go, all right, push and then get on with something else. You've got to put it in from the bottom like that and then let go. I think that takes longer. I'm not sure. I mean, obviously the fastest is this system here. You know, comes straight out, bang, straight back in. This is on the Vera here. No problems with that. I'm a little bit disappointed by that. It's not a deal breaker. It's not the end of the world, and I've seen a hell of a lot worse. But I would say they need to think about that and try and make this so you can just take your bit, right, I'm busy with something, right, I can feel the thing there, right, just do that, and while you're picking something else up, you'd be pressing that in and getting on with some work. You can't seem to do that, look. You can, watch, you can force it, watch. If I really force it, there, you can force it in, but the problem is, if you do that, now this is slightly loose. So I would say that's a little bit of a design decision I wouldn't have gone for. See? And in regards to that, you get a little bit of shake, and I'll show you. So this is the Verry here, Wiha, sorry. No shake. This is the KK20. Tiny little bit of shake, but that's because, listen, you've got movement there, but if I hold that, the carousel itself isn't making a noise, but this one, it's like a musical instrument, isn't it? You could join an indie band and play percussion or something. So I would say very, very short, which is great. However, that ultra compact nature means it's slightly less comfortable than the Wiha here. It's just slightly. This system here, I would have liked to have seen it where you could just push the bits back in instead of having to go like that, instead of just push straight in. That's a little bit annoying. Although to be fair, to make it easier, you can tilt like that. You know, that is part of the design, look. You can tilt it, no problem, look. 360 degrees, doesn't matter. It will tilt, and that's not broken. It is supposed to do that. A little bit of rattle, but it's not the end of the world. It's just going to be in your pocket anyway. Very strong magnet, and I like to see this angularity here, because that gives you some options if you want to get a little bit more torque there. So all in all, pretty good, and this rotates independent, see? So if you've got that, you can there's little tricks you can do, but okay, so I think it's decent. So really what I need to do is I need to think, right, so if you were going to consider buying this, what would I say? A little bit rattly, not the end of the world. Take standard 1/4 inch. In fact, I'll prove it. Look, we'll take some 1/4 inches. Here's a standard 1/4 inch from a totally different driver here. So a standard 1/4 inch there. That happens to be a 1.2 flathead or crosshead, straight in. Whereas you can't do that with the Wiha here because they're double-ended. But by the fact that they're double-ended means you get twice as many bits. So do you need more bits, or do you want to concentrate on just the bits you want? I mean, probably what I would do is I would probably make my own loadout and just the bits that I use, you know, all the time. And then if I wanted to break out another screwdriver like this one, I would have a different loadout. So I'll just put in the stuff I use. So not so much Phillips these days, it's more posi driver and flatheads. Probably maybe get smaller flatheads. But it's a decent, and like I say, you can get the different magazines. This just happens to be a magazine 2 that I went for, because it's a closer match to what I would use. And I'll carry this in my pockets. I've been carrying it for a few days and it's decent. There's no scuffs or scratches. This seems like a decent, you know, piece of plastic. Like I say, I wish they'd redesign this though. That's a bit of a shame. For comfort and ease and quickness, you might be better off going for this, but then just bear in mind, if you try and stick a normal 1/4 inch bit in, it's going to go whoop all the way down that black hole, lost. Well, you can't get it out, you know, but it's like, you know, trying to get nits off a monkey's back, it's a bit silly. So pretty decent. It's okay, few little drawbacks. Now someone said, okay, which one would you buy then? I'd probably buy this one because it's cheaper. Bear in mind that you have to realise, yes, you're getting more bits, it's more comfortable, there's no rattle, but bear in mind that because of the depth of this, due to the slightly proprietary bits, you need to be careful and don't put a normal type in, then whoa, it's gone. What I'm after is I'm trying to get a copy, a hold of some PB Swiss stuff, which to me looks like a copy, sort of a cross between both of these, which to me sounds pretty decent. And if they've put decent drivers in and it's decent quality, it'll probably be what I'm after. I like this and I like that. However, there's things I'll change about that and there's things I'll change about that. So some middle ground here could be what the PB Swiss Stubby Insider, I think it's called, C6 style. So I'll try and get a hold of one of them and look at it. But in regards to this, it's okay for a compact stubby, and you can pick the load out when you buy the different magazine versions. It's got the easy tool finder. Some may find that interesting. I don't, you know, it doesn't really bother me. It's ultra compact, yes, I would agree it is. It's even smaller than the Wiha here. Pretty decent price. I like the German stuff, although bear in mind, made in Czech Republic. I don't know whether the Czech Republic stuff's decent or not. I don't know. I mean, this is German, but this is made in Poland, I think. Nothing bad to say about the Polish stuff. They make some really decent tools. They've got a decent history for that sort of stuff. I've got no problems with that. Czech Republic, I don't know enough about them to even comment on that. Couldn't tell you. If anyone knows, stick it in the comments section. Do the Czech Republic make really decent tools, or they're known for making dodgy stuff? I don't know. But I trust the Wera name, and I've got Wera stuff all over the house, so I do trust it. But I'm not being biased. I'm being honest when I say it rattles. Nice strong magnet, very, very compact, slightly less comfortable than the Wiha, but decent. Just I wish they'd slightly redesigned this, and I know they've tilted it so it makes it easier, but still, if you just redesign that, I'll be a lot happier. But certainly does the job as a ultra compact stubby, so well done to them. Anyway, if you want me to do more tool stuff, just let me know in the comments section. Like I say, I'll try and get a hold of some PB Swiss stuff, because they look you know, they've got that certain something that makes me want to buy one. So thank you for joining me. If you've got any questions, stick them down below and I'll get them when I can. So goodbye.